share about the Transition Organic Program, a little bit about Farmers Union. Let me just introduce Dr. Amjad from CTAR, Dr. Ted from CTAR as well. Just a big mahalo for them coming out today. And then also, let's give a round of applause to Ned for allowing us to host here.
Yay!
Also, I just want to acknowledge Natalie and and Martha, yes, and thank you guys so much for allowing us to come into your home and sharing space. Really appreciate it. It means a lot to be able to be hosted here today.
Thank you.
Also, I just want to acknowledge Natalie from the Hawaii chapter. Of Farmers Union. Those of you who don't know Natalie, she's the president of the chapter here and does amazing work of bringing the community together and supporting farmers. Also, would just like to acknowledge Annie Bruce. Vice president of the organization for many, many years. So glad you're here today.
Thank you.
Before we get going, are there any questions? I guess I should introduce myself too.
The meaning of life.
Bathroom in there.
The meaning of life.
We're here and it's labeled in there.
So thank you. So Ned was saying the restroom is through here, right?
Yeah.
Is that, yeah. Thank you.
Guess I should probably introduce myself as well, huh? I introduced everyone else. Aloha, my name is Christian Zuckerman. I'm here with the Farmers Union. So I am the program manager for the Transition Organic Partnership Program on the Farmers Union side. I'm also the new vice president of the organization. So I'm really glad to be here and to share time and space with you guys and hopefully learn together. As far as sort of the plan for today, I believe we have some light snacks and lunch, poo-poos, I believe, Natalie?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought maybe before we get started into sort of the formal part, we can grab some food. You guys can sit down, enjoy that, and then while that's happening, we'll sort of, I'll talk about the program as a whole, and then I'll pass it off to Ted, who will talk about what they're working on as far as this program. And then Amjad, some of the work and research that he's doing around fertilizers and organic farming. But really, the main portion for today is that we want to learn from Ned and what he's been doing here for many years. So we'll be getting up, walking around, getting a farm tour, and really learning about the practices that he's been implementing over the years and seeing some of the cool, unique tools and methods that have been at work. Questions? Also, as we go, please feel free to just raise your hand, shout out a question. We're here to support you guys, to answer your guys' questions. And if you don't ask, I'll just keep on talking. So it's really, we want this to be as interactive as possible. We don't have a formal presentation. It's really just to share about organics and why it's important, and hopefully leave you guys all with a little bit more knowledge at the end of the day. Sweet, let's grab some food.
Good. Natalie, want to tell us anything about the foods?
It's really good.
Yeah.
It has, there's a curry, there's rice. The curry has a bunch of stuff from Ned's and Martha's farm and my farm. And Brady, all the sprouts are from his farm. And, there's Roselle ginger, sweetened honey, and this is Mamaki chaga chai, and there's water, and there's some sauces, and
Thank you.
Natalie had said that we were going to get together an order for orchard ladders, maybe today. Is that right, Natalie?
yeah, I'm going to talk a little bit about orchard ladders and the soldier flies
Is that at the end or the beginning?
I can talk about it right as soon as I pull out all this stuff for you guys.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, you need any hands?
We need a bigger meeting space.
We get to know each other.
How long have you been on this? How long have you run this farm?
Are those orchard ladders the type that have only 3 legs?
Yes, 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 yes.
Really? Oh, those are really good ones.
These are the all aluminum ones, so they can stay outdoors. And they're
Favorite part
the
of it?
brand that
is
we're
I
going
believe
for.
it's
They're
how
called the
much
Tall
acres? 28
Man
acres?
Orchard Ladders. They're made by family
28
in
and a half. Do you
Oregon,
have a
and I've
favorite
used
part
mine
of
for
the-
20 years.
Out of the farm?
They go
Specifically,
forever.
They're much better in a way than the ones with 4 legs.
Way better because also the
Yeah,
legs
that's
are
awesome.
wider at the bottom. Even though there's 3 of them,
those been going for a
they're
while,
totally
yeah, 'cause they take a
stable.
long time to grow.
Totally stable.
But also because I
Did you
cannot
start at
go
the beginning
with
of
the
the farm,
front
or-
two into the
Right.
bush.
So the one will go into the
Right.
the branches of the
Right.
Yeah,
trees.
and that's why I would like to have such a ladder.
You know,
And another
and
good
I
thing
had
about them is you
5
can even
years.
use them on a little bit of a
Years,
slope
like,
because you can adjust that thing out.
Yeah, well, I don't have a slope problem, but I have the bush problem. And do you know how many feet tall they are?
If you remember that, if you planted
6,
hardwood
8,
on your
10,
line, you did get a
12,
little bit of
14, and
pass.
16.
Oh, many different sizes. Oh,
That's
great.
extra.
I
Yeah.
was
Great.
just trying to
Okay.
block off
They're
some
all
highway
aluminum.
noise.
They just have
so
only
that the
4
Yeah.
bolts that are not
windbreak.
aluminum, and you can replace
So
them with
you're more so
stainless
just
or
using them for
something. But
wood
they'll
break,
last
so
forever.
it's not as much
Forever.
of
You
trying
don't
to
have
sell
to
it
put
for
them
hardwood in
away.
the future.
No,
Oh,
I mean, once in a
excellent.
while,
And
thin down here.
this is going to be ordered or?
We're doing a group order because we have to get them from a big island, and they're going to
see.
ship them over. We used to have a store here.
Doing their job.
We used to have a store here that sold them. They went out of business. So there's only one place we can get them from. We cannot get them from the manufacturer.
Yeah,
We have
please
to get them from
grab some food and then we can, once we get
this
sort of
place in
settled,
Big
we can,
Island. I forget the name of it. They keep changing their name. Agri Products. United Agri Products. They were.
No, that's
I can't remember. They keep
I
changing.
never had such, but I know from internet about such.
You can get them on the internet, but they'll cost about double what they
Yeah.
possibly get. Because this is the cheapest source.
That's why I don't have it.
What's that?
That's why I don't have it because it's too
But they're
expensive
still,
to ship.
going to be expensive. They're going to be
Yeah.
like 400 to 600 bucks each.
Really?
Maybe more, and then shipping on top of that. There'll be some,
Wow.
a little bit of shipping.
Wow, that's a lot.
Hi, how's it going, my dear?
so maybe one.
Did you say to the end?
I don't know.
You got faster, man. When you jump higher? When did you get so strong?
Yeah, look, I jumped from like right here to over there.
You jumped so far, man. I'm so impressed.
overview of the top program. But before that, I just want a quick show of hands. How many people here are members of the Farmers Union? Awesome. How many people don't know anything about the Farmers Union? Okay, so I'm going to give a 30-second elevator pitch for those of you who don't know who we are. The Hawaii Farmers Organization, we are an organization supporting family farmers across the state of Hawaii. We are a chapter of the National Farmers Union, which is one of 2 organizations in the United States that represents farmers. So at the national level, we got Farm Bureau and National Farmers Union. National Farmers Union, we support family farmers, versus Farm Bureau tends to support all agriculture in the sense of also corporate and larger scale models. Here in Hawaii, we have 16 chapters across the state, about 900 members, and the 3 pillars of our organization are education, legislation, and cooperation. Within our organization, we have many different programs, but really we're here to support you as the farmer, the family farmer, to increase our food security and create a viable food system going forward into our future. Since we are here in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, we know it's very hard to get food here, and when things stop, who are they going to look to? Us, the farmers. So we're really here to try to support the growth of the small farmer and the resiliency for that. Questions on that?
I have a question or
Yes.
a comment. One organization I'd like to mention, because I'm a member of that one too, and that's the Hawaii Tropical Fruit Growers. They're not so much for vegetables and things. They're just about, it's an organization of tropical fruit growers. It's statewide. It's been here 35 years. But it's totally, compatible with this organization too.
Oh yeah,
In fact,
I'm a member.
In the future, we can co-host events and that kind of thing.
Oh, we do.
We
Yeah.
have.
Yeah, yeah. That's
Yeah,
right.
and
did
we
always
do.
want to.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think, there's so many organizations out here in Hawaii like supporting farmers and different aspects of it. The Farmers Union, we sort of encompass all farmers. We do ranchers, fishers, farmers, orchards, whoever we are. And, we have these educational programs like what we're talking about here. We have our chapters that are providing support directly to the community because, things are different island to island, moku to moku. But then at the sort of the state level, we really try to provide that support through the legislature. We realize that farming is difficult, and it's like, how can we help change and shape our policy as a state, and then now also at the national level to some degree, to really benefit the Hawaii farmer. So I think, to be a member, it's relatively affordable at an annual basis, $50 a year for a single membership, or you can pay $100 for an Ohana membership. That's for 4 members.
And they don't have to be related.
And you don't have to be related, even though it says Ohana. We're all Ohana in Hawaii. But yeah, so there's tangible benefits. You'll have regional, like chapter, excuse me, chapter discounts within the, your local farm supply stores, or I'm not sure what the Kauai ones are per se. At the state level, we do have those of you buy from Johnny's Selected Seeds. Anyone shop from Johnny's? Oh yeah, you spend more than $500 a year on seeds. If you do, the membership pays for itself because you get 10% off.
I need to start using it.
Yeah, exactly. So as soon as you spend $501, you're losing money by not being a member. But yeah, so there's like these like broader statewide ones. We're working on some other ones, hopefully, that are in the pipeline coming forward to really provide more direct benefit. But ultimately, you're part of an organization that's truly representing farmers and trying to move our food system forward. Yes.
And this is one of the benefits right here.
It is.
Maybe more people like me don't know what means the soldier larva.
So I think she has a handout that will teach you a little bit more about it, and I think
Because we're not going to get stuck on talking about that. We're going to move on to everything else.
Because I think maybe that's a great opportunity for another chapter event to have one
Well,
going.
it's in the works already.
See, you're going to learn all
You know how
about
I
it. All right, so that was my longer than 30-second elevator pitch about the Farmers Union. But let me talk a little bit about the Transition to Organic program and why we're here today before we get up and get to tour the farm and learn from Ned. So the Transition to Organic Partnership Program, or TOP, T-O-P-P, this is a part of a USDA initiative to support more organic farms across the United States. This was in direct response to the fact that there was a increasing demand for organic food and products, but the supply was not able to meet that demand. So this was very exciting because this is the first time that the USDA is actually directly invested in supporting organic agriculture since it came under its mantle in the early 2000s. This was a part of about a $100 million initiative by the Biden administration. It was a part of a 4-year program. It has recently been scaled back to 4 years. We're in the last year, 3.
But so we're in year 3, right?
We're in year 3, and
it's supposed to be 4. It's supposed to be 5.
Yeah, it's supposed to be 5, and we have 1 year left. So this program will be wrapping up end of October. And like I said, this is a nationwide program, so we have different regions. So Hawaii falls within the southwest region. So it's California, Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, Utah, and Hawaii. So we're in our southwest region, and then there's like the rest of the states are like broken up into different sections. Our primary lead for Hawaii is CCOF Foundation, and then within the state we have 3 primary partners. So there's Farmers Union, CTAR, and then Ma'o Organic Farms. And the program is the same across the whole United States. Of course, it's adjusted a little bit for each state, and because we're all very unique. But the 4 main pillars of the program are technical assistance, which is what CTAR is sort of leading. He'll speak a little bit more about that. Mentorship, that's the Farmers Union's main focus. That's like combination of finding mentors who are existing organic farmers who have the experience and the capacity to help mentor farmers who want to become certified organic. And this is done through about 40 hours of 40 hours of sort of consulting. The mentor is working with the mentee to help guide them through the process of what it means to become certified. So depending on the situation of the farmer, you know, it might be more practical and hands-on, where, you know, you're really learning how to do the organic practices. If you're a conventional farmer and you don't know how to do organic pest management or weed suppression, it's like learning from your mentor what are techniques and things that he did well or she did well to address this, you know, whether it's using black plastic mulch or just mulch in general, or, you know, like maintaining your field edges so that you don't have weeds growing. All these sort of tricks and techniques to make your life easier as a new organic farmer. In other cases, which has been mainly what we've seen here in Hawaii, is that most of the people who apply are already doing organic practices, but they really want help with the actual paperwork and the certification process, and like setting up a good record keeping system, because this is one of the big issues for certification. In that case, you know, we'll pair you up with a mentor who's really focused more on that side of it. The other two pillars are workforce development, which is being led by Ma'o Organic Farms. They're the largest one of the largest certified organic farms in the state, primarily based on Oahu. They have a youth program, and they haven't been as active as across the whole state. But and then the fourth part, which is really important, is sort of community building. And that's like one of the things that we've sort of discovered over the last several years, is that coming together in situations like this, and also just creating a space where organic farmers and people who are interested in it can come together and learn about it. So probably many of you are familiar with HOFA, Hawaii Organic Farming Association. They're the ones who in the early 2000s or late, I don't know, the 90s sort of came together and really tried to bring that organic movement to life here in Hawaii. They were doing certifications here, but in 2012 they sort of dropped off. And since then, there's been this sort of space that has been needing to get filled. So through this program, we've been able to sort of start creating some more community around organics. And we hope to be able to continue that going forward. Questions? Yes?
We were early members of HOFA, and then we're just a little small family farm. It just got so expensive, and has that changed?
Yeah, so that's perfect.
It got worse.
I was going to say, it's way worse. So yeah, that's like what, just to give you guys a perspective of what's happening at the national level, here in Hawaii in the last decade, we've lost close to 50% of our certified organic farms. This doesn't mean that we have lost that many organic farms. This just means they've dropped their certification. And this is for many different reasons, but a big one is the cost. You know, as organic as an industry has grown, you know, it's gotten more complicated, you know, there's more money behind it. The regulations have started to catch up to that. And because of like sort of the regulation side of it and the more compliance, it's increased that cost. So, you know, I think HOFA was like, the average was $400 or $500 a year for certification. Yeah. But now, like, the average cost is probably going to be about $2,000.
HOFA went out of business because they were subsidizing the farmers. It was actually cheap from the certification, even though it was still expensive for the growers, but they couldn't afford to keep it going, which is why they sold. Anyway.
But yeah, the cost is one. The compliance has really increased. And for these, especially here in Hawaii, for these small, highly diversified operations, the level of compliance that they're asking is designed for the 4,000-acre earthbound farm in California that's growing one crop or 4 crops maybe. It's not designed for a system like that we're going to see here, where you have, I don't know how many, probably like 30, 40 different crops, if not way more than that, plus orchards and all these different things. It's, when it comes to record keeping, that's a lot of work. So those are like the two big ones. But another one that's really, I think a lot of farms have opted out of certification is because we've done a really good job of branding local. And I mean, here in Hawaii, we've done a really good job of that. And the local holds such a premium in the marketplace that organic doesn't quite allow for that extra bump, right? Because that's a big sort of incentive for certification. It's like you get a 30% premium above market value. But in Hawaii, like local is you go to the store, you're paying $3-4 a pound for chard anyways because it's local, and we're happy to do that. But are you, then it's like how much more can you add on to something like that? So that's another reason why we've seen a decrease. I think one of the reasons why, to encourage people, because that's what I'm supposed to be doing here, right? It's encouraging you to want to get certified. There's sort of 4 main reasons, and then I'm going to hand it off because I've been talking for a while. One is like you're a new farmer. You haven't created a relationship within your community, and you want to stand out from the guy next to you. From the if you go to a farmer's market, there's 20 different vendors there. They're all selling the same, more or less the same thing. But you want to be able to be like, how do I capture those customers? Having that USDA organic label on your flyers, on your banner, will bring people to your table. I think that is, because people are always looking for organic. We just assume local means that. And that's sort of one of the issues here in Hawaii. 2, you're sort of at a scale where you are not just doing a CSA, you're not just going to a farmer's market, but you're starting to sell to retail stores. You are starting to sell to a distributor or wholesale. For that retail store or that distributor to sell your product as certified organic and for them to mark it up, they need to get your certification annually to show that it's like maintaining its certification over time. 3, you're creating a value-added product. I think there's been a lot of discussion here in Hawaii about like how to create a larger value-added industry. A lot of that, that's right away where you can the organic label on there is going to allow you to charge a premium for your product. And so if you're a small farm and you're developing, say, a mamaki tea, you get certified. You have all your mamaki certified. Now when you get your handling certification and you can develop your product, you get to put USDA on there, you're going to be able to stand out from everybody else's mamaki tea on the shelf and also be able to sort of capture that premium. And 4 is sort of for philosophical reasons, and which is actually surprising. There's a lot of farms in the state that maintain their certification because they believe in the movement. They want to support it and they want to continue it. And they don't see like the $2,000 in the extra record keeping. Yeah, it might be a hurdle, but they believe strongly in the movement and want to continue to support it. Questions?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes.
What about, there's people that in the last few years that claim to be organic that are not and selling their stuff that way. Is there any way of doing anything about that?
Yeah, so that goes to like that whole, the local, right? It's holds such a premium. A lot of farms have sort of opted because they have that direct relationships with their community. I just want to like caution, like when it comes to that, it's like, if you know the farmer personally and they have the reputation and that's a whole different situation. However, if somebody at the market says like, oh, I'm doing organic practices, without the label, they could just be saying that and there's nothing that's holding them at to place.
But it's legal for them to say that. Using organic practices, they can say that. They cannot say that they're organic certified. So grown with organic practices is a legit term that they cannot be prosecuted for. And what I say, it's the same thing as saying made with real fruit juice, right? You can put a splash of fruit juice in there and call it made with real fruit juice. Or made in Hawaii, where you can bring the ukulele over, made in Vietnam, and you just lacquer it, add 51% of the value and say it's made in Hawaii. So I'm almost certain you can say grown with organic practices. You cannot say, so just ask for the certificate.
Yep.
Ask for the certificate.
Because like with the certificate, that really, that means they're having to fill out paperwork. They're following the National Organic Program guidelines, non-GMO seed, no synthetic-based fertilizers, no synthetic pesticides. They're doing crop rotations. Soil health is important. Organic practices, they could just be doing one of those. And they might be still doing, all the other things, but they're using organic practices. So that, without that direct relationship with your farmer and really knowing what they're doing, it doesn't, mean much.
Can I add one more thing, sorry?
Yes.
And honestly, the inspection is really good for the farmers in a way that, yes, we are all busy. And sometimes just because we are very busy, things slips away. Keeping that record helps us a lot. Having that inspector coming, checking on things. Third eye is always needed. we write a lot as a university people. I always send my stuff to somebody else, just check it out, because I'm tired of reading or looking at the same thing, because I am doing it. I get used to it. Somebody else coming as an inspector, they will be, because their focus is if there is wrong. And they are not there to fine you, they are there to help you to do better. So really it's a good also practice to have as well. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, you know, you hear the word inspector and it sounds sort of scary. But they're ultimately, they don't want to fail you.
No.
They want to make sure you pass. They're there to make sure you pass. All they're doing is they're verifying that you're doing what you said you're doing. And that ultimately is protecting us as a consumer, right? As a consumer, we want to make sure that when we go to the store, we're buying that organic food or that organic product off the shelf, that it's being ensured that it's actually following the practice. So I think, you know, that's where, you know, ultimately the consumer, we have a lot of the power, like when it comes to this. It's like, we want more organic stuff in your stores, ask your manager, the store manager, be like, hey, like I only see like 2 organic things, produces on the shelf. How can we get more? How can we get more certified organic local? Because then this will create that incentive from the top, like the top down from the like, retail store, where then they start going for the farms. Be like, hey, like, you know, we've been buying stuff for you guys for 5 years. We have this. Our customers are asking for it to be certified, and then that increased incentive for the farmer to become certified. I want to hand it off to Ted here, so he can talk a little bit about what CTAR they're doing as part of this program and the technical assistance and resources that they have developed. But yeah, as we go through the tour, we can ask more questions and keep on talking.
Happy to be able to come out to Kauai periodically. CTAR has been doing certified organic, well, CTAR has been doing organic since 1993. So many of you will know Dr. Hector Valenzuela. I got my master's under him. He initiated the program. When I took over in 2009, we became certified with HOFA. And because it was the homegrown organization. So we've been certified since 2009. We have about 4 acres. We've expanded in the past. We've contracted just because it's easier to manage. Anyway, so we are one of the TOPP partners, work very closely with Christian and Farmers Union. We have all kinds of resources. So if you're not aware of CTAR's resources, College of Tropical Agriculture and Human Resilience, we have a sustainable and organic ag program. Dr. Amjad is running that now. So we've historically had a lot of resources that we've tried to keep web-based so that everybody can access them, and then we come out when we can to everybody's place. We have agents, extension agents on all the islands. Many of you will know Emily Kirk, who's a Sustainable Organic Ag Program extension agent. She joined us in 2019, I believe. So we have resources on all the islands. Okay, so to keep it short, we have a program called UHOT, UHOT, University of Hawaii Organic Transitions Program, so UHOT.org. And we set that up to be specifically for certified organic folks, or folks who are interested in certified organic. And so when this is all done right now, the Farmers Union is doing an outstanding job getting people certified. We have a lot of funds to do that. When all of that's gone, we wanted to create a kind of hand-holding setup to walk people through it. We've been certified under multiple certification agencies. They all follow the NOP, so it's all the same guidelines they look at, but there are some subtle differences from agency to agency. We've been pretty passive about changing our agencies since HOFA in 2011 sold their operation to International Certification Services. We followed them because they had the same people, Sarah, etc. They don't have those people anymore, and then they sold their business to where food comes from, and that's who we were with. Working closely with California Certified Organic Farmers, the foundation, became aware of a lot of cool stuff there, so we're switching now to California Certified Organic Farmers. And really, it doesn't ultimately matter per se, because I've talked to folks who switch from one to the other because they're upset with one because they were signing up for something. They go to the other and then they want to switch back because the other one's just as bad, because they all follow in the same rule, right? So we have those resources online. We're here to help. We want folks to be certified, and more importantly, we want folks to be growing in a Pono manner. And so historically, we don't care whether or not you're certified, but as part of this program, the metrics are to get people certified. So to the extent we can help you do that, we're happy to do that. Yeah, I don't have much else to add, so I look forward to meeting everybody and talking to everybody during the thing. And I know, Amjad, do you want to talk very briefly about?
I work for this guy. He's the boss. I'm an extension agent of Sustainable Organic Agriculture on Oahu. So you guys have Emily Kirk, I am the same, but on Oahu. Yeah. Work lots of crop diversity, variety selection, evaluation of organic amendments. We try to, especially Hawaii is known for its microclimates. So sometimes, yes, many crops you can grow statewide, but then at the same time, if you have better variety that's suited for certain location, that will be better. So that's one of the points we focus on. Organic amendments also, we're trying to reduce the reliance of Hawaii growers on imported fertilizers by understanding what's in the state, what's their quality, and develop some recommendations. Recently, we have liquid organic fertilizer. We're trying to reduce the reliance on fish emulsion, for example, the imported one. We have the recipe, and we've been improving it also. So soon we will have some workshops actually statewide running. We are just testing that improved recipe, and then we can announce it. We have another project to take all these invasive species, make them into biochar. Now, sorry, our host, and sorry, I forgot your name.
Ned.
Ned, thank you. And he was talking about high pH in this soil. Usually, biochar has high pH, it's like 9 plus. If you have high pH issues, you don't want to add biochar. But in general, high rainfall areas, soil like this red soil, they are usually well weathered, they are low in pH. You can improve the quality and so both the soil and the crop with the application of biochar. So it works with certain conditions as well. And we've been trying to make it locally here in a small system where farmers can make it on their own. Because unfortunately we don't have big demand for a big company to come and produce this biochar for us. But also we need to get rid of those invasive species. That's a couple of the stuff we've been working on. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, so like I said, I want to really be spending as much time out in the field and learning from Ned. Today's real focus is sort of fertilizer and inputs, so please, if you guys have questions about that, when it comes to organic systems, Amjad's being humble over here. He's very knowledgeable, like that's his focus. That's why he's, he will be able to answer those questions. He's very, yeah. So, Ned, how did you want to do a little overview of the farm here while you got everyone's attention, or you wanted us to get out there?
Well, we get started. Well, I came here in 2002. It was basically cauliflower, guinea grass, Christmas berry. It had been fallow for 20 years, so it had been quite grown up, which was a total plus for me. It was affordable. 28.5 acres was affordable because it didn't have any house sites. So I was coming from Arkansas where I had about 12 acres of organic apple and pear orchards in the Ozarks in Arkansas. And that was a really tough row to hoe. You got plum cuculio, you got scab, you got fire blight, etc., etc. So, you know, arriving here was the thought where you could just plant a fruit and actually get something without all sorts of inputs and have a quality fruit to offer was quite appealing. But really, to make that whole thing work is you got to have some cash flow. So you know, I'd been like perennial crops forever, but you know, getting into the annuals, our first couple crops were like pole beans, just getting beans, you know, getting something going. So you got a cash flow, and then eventually your fruit come in and stuff like that. But so, you know, I'd had big gardens before, but as far as commercial vegetable production, it was kind of foreign to me. But you know, it didn't. I guess the paucity or just the lack of other farms made it easier than it probably would have been. You know, now there's a little more skill, a little more diversity as far as farmers on the island. But at the time, it was, you know, just started going to farmers markets, and you know, 23 years later, we've been still going to those markets. never missing, you know, if they call it off, oh well, we miss it, but just being consistent, showing up, have something to sell, you know, having what you're doing, the farmer's market, anything you can grow is fair game, and in the meantime, you know, working with the health food stores, and like when we had to have huge mango crops or something like that, you know, sending them off island to Wahoo would make sense and stuff like that. But well, I guess we'll just go. Yeah, so it's always about input costs, or like pretty crazy. I'll spend like maybe $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 just on garden seed and plants or whatever a year. Probably some years 10 to 12,000 on inputs, from chicken pellets to 824 sustain to gypsum and stuff like that. And you know, of course, we're doing our own composting, but that's pretty minimal compared to what you'd really need to do a good spread. And then lately we've got a few grants to first get a way to spread biochar, and a couple of ring of fire rings to make biochar. So I'm about in my, what is that, my third or fourth burn so far, and I guess we'll just go out and check that out and see what's going on. You know, I haven't had enough in the soil long enough to actually see the results. But my first consideration was, okay, pH, because we do tend to have a high pH around here, is to moderate that pH, and we'll just go see what we've done so far and what we're going to do next, and walk around the fields. And I don't know if anybody's scaled, but you know, people interested in implements at work, or you know, I'm happy to talk shop with anybody who wants to do anything like that too. So let's go check it out.
And hold on, sorry, don't leave yet. Lance is going to talk a little bit about the steam, or do you want to do that when we get to the mulch pile?
Well, we'll go to a compost pile, and we'll talk about it there.
Perfect.
Okay?